lodged 3 indolent heads, cheek by jowl round the bath rim. Julius found the wine flask in his hand and eclipsed the whole sun with its bottom. A conscientious youth, yet with a troublesome lightness of character. So they had assessed him, while he was earning his scroll at Bologna. God take all law schools. This is Flanders, not Italy. You volunteer to unload a bath from a ship. Accept a lift in the bath, back to your place of residence and employment. You close your eyes, the better to ponder. Where is the lightness in that? Julius, notary to the Charetti family, closed his eyes. Almost at once, so it seemed, he endured a nasty blow to his ribs. Half awake, he flung out a fist in return. He hit something. "Hey!" said Felix, and, his face flushed, made to kick him again. Julius rolled over, escaping the foot. The sound of rushing water told him why Felix had wakened him. They were approaching the lock. Felix's voice was continuing, monumentally resonant because of the bath. "You've knocked my hat off!" boomed Felix. "You've broken the feather!" The lighterman, steering up to the lock, glanced round appreciatively, and so did Klaas, who had got up to help them. The truth was, it was hard to hit Felix and avoid hitting his headgear. This one had a peak and a long pointed brim like a paper boat. Its osprey feather curled, broken-backed on the rabbit bag. Where the hat had been, Felix's brown hair was sweaty and flat, and his curls had sagged into corkscrews. He looked furious. Klaas said, "You said you were tired of the feather. It's time for the beer, Mr. Julius." Klaas had been with the Charetti since he was 10, and being a family byblow, he got to speak that way to Felix. Through the years, Klaas had become not only an apprentice, but a kind of servant companion to the Charetti heir. Felix tried to batter Klaas regularly, but mostly put up with him. Felix's mother, thankful for peace, let Klaas off his dye-shop duties whenever Felix demanded it. Julius, equally thankful, hoped that Klaas's spasmodic apprenticeship would last long enough to see Felix into maturity, if not old age and burial. Julius, an easy-going sort of man, had nothing much against Jonkheer Felix. He could control him. Klaas, of course, had no writ to control anyone, which was why he got beaten so freely. It made him very helpful. Julius watched Klaas give a last shove with his oar, put it down, and then walk round the end of the boat and hand Felix his hat. All anyone remembered of Klaas was his size and the dents in his cheeks and his helpfulness, and that nothing female under 20 was safe from his endeavours. Julius could see his mouth opening and shutting outside the bath, and hear Felix booming back from within. Julius didn't join the discussion, which was on the usual subject. Of course he liked watching a good-looking woman. He had his share of vanity. He knew his sort of looks drew attention. He had had to extract himself more than once from some developing situation with a client's young wife. It was not either that he contemplated taking holy orders, or not up to the present. But if a good chance came along, a man ought to be ready. He was moderate. He didn't raven, like Klaas, or yearn like poor Felix when brought to sail the canalized river between Sluis and Damme, passing 3 miles of ankles and a handful of knees, if you were lucky. Accessible ankles, what's more. You didn't find grand ladies with steeple headdresses and shaved brows and pearls on their slippers among the quays and sheds and warehouses and pens and tie-posts of the 2 ports of Bruges. You got pertly laundered white caps and slyly hitched work gowns. Enough of them to please even Klaas, Julius thought. The liveliest girls called down to one youth or the other. Men sang out too, and boys ran alongside, keeping up with the rowers. One tossed a pebble into the bath, and it chimed like the tongue of a church bell. The tongue of the thrower soon drowned it, as his father hurriedly thrashed him. Even from Brussels, or Dijon, or Lille, Duke Philip could hear things. Klaas stayed on his feet beside Felix. Felix was signalling masterfully with his hat, from which Klaas had adopted the feather. 3 feet long, it waved from his thatch like a fishing line. On the other side of the boat, Julius helped throw up the ropes.